Okay, this hat is my Rumpelstiltskin hat, and Uncle Rumple wants to come, but he's not coming, so he's going to ask me to talk for him. As you know, he's working in a tailory, working on fine dinner jackets and wedding dresses, etc. And he's got a lot of help from Sippy Cup. But what he wants me to talk about is mostly to do with, I can't even talk about it right now, but it's also to do with you and our beliefs and all the lies that have been told to us by even our doctors. What is that lie? It is that we are physical beings and that our physicality resides in our DNA in the cells. How am I ever going to prove to you that this is a lie? Mostly, I can't. Because I can't eliminate all the DNA that people would find if they were to examine my blood cells. And we have so much information about geneticists and, well, heredity, genetic diseases, damage to the DNA that causes cancer, etc., etc. How are we ever going to get to the point where we're going to call this a lie and be able to prove it? It's going to be needing someone like Sri Yukteswar to be dead and then come back to life. In other words, we're going to have to see dead people back in our physical reality. Seems like a tall order, doesn't it? No one really believes in Sri Yukteswar, whoever his name is, but, or, you know, the returned Jesus, but that would be sufficient proof, would it not? If you saw a dead person you knew was declared dead and buried or cremated, and you saw them again and they were the same person, they had the same personality, they had all the memories, wouldn't that be good enough to prove to you? Would you say, well, somebody took a hair sample of this dead person and they cloned somebody from the hair sample, and that's what it was, the DNA from that person? How are we ever going to really prove that the DNA is nothing? It sounds like a tall order. Okay, well, I'm ordering up the universe to figure it out, because the universe knows how to do these things. So I'm saying, universe, you must present me with proof that DNA is not the source of our genetics and is not the source of our life. And the cells are not the source of our life. And I always come back and say, you know, have to take my word for it, that it's consciousness that comes first all the time, not physicality. Despite the fact that I was apparently conceived and born from a woman. It seems like a very tall order. I'm ordering up the universe, and right now I don't have an answer for you. Because even if someone comes back to life, are you going to believe that that person doesn't have DNA that's, you know, causing their body to be rebuilt? We've got so much sci-fi that, you know, talks about kooky stuff. The recent Keanu Reeves movie where someone was basically cloned like that, and they transplanted the old memories and engrams from the old body into the new one. It's still incorrect. Still incorrect. How do I know? Because I keep getting this information. When I've got the answer for you, I will present it to you. For now, I'm just another crazy kook. I'm Bob Frizzell for The Reality Game. Oh, one more thing. If you want to see more examples of stuff that is unbelievable, well, keep looking for bizarre things. In other words, lift your head out of your video game and try to pay attention to the world around you. The biggest problem we have is lack of attention to what the universe is providing you. And in so many videos, I've told you, look for the symbology. If you see a chipmunk, look up the symbology of the chipmunk. If you see a license plate with numbers, look up the numbers in angel numbers. Look up the symbology of everything. Look to see coincidences. Pay attention to the coincidences and try to figure out, what are the coincidences telling me? What are they leading me to? What people, what books am I led to? I gave you an example that you can go into the public library or a bookstore, point your finger and walk and see, just follow your finger. Follow your finger to whatever book your finger gives you in a bookstore. Just do it. Do these stupid things. They're stupid, but they're fun. At the very least, you're going to go, I don't know, but see if it works. See if your finger leads you somewhere. Go in your car and go for a drive with no destination. Just follow your intuition to go right or left or straight at every intersection and see where you go and see what you see and pay attention to it. And later on, when you're lying in bed, review what you saw. How's that going to happen? Your mind will give you things that you did during the day. How do I know? Because it happens to me. What if it doesn't happen? Why don't you just try? Just try and see what kind of messages you get. If you don't look, how are you ever going to learn? And I'm not looking for too much book learning, despite my previous example. I am looking for things that you are going to get yourself. You're going to develop your intuition. It is something that we always say women have. Well, women have it, but they don't use it very much these days. And men have it just as equally as women, but they're told it's women's intuition, so, men have got to be logical. Logic is considered a right brain thing. Intuition is left brain. If you're always logical, then you're relying on only half of your mind. You need to have two parts in order to figure it all out. Sound fair? If it doesn't sound fair, please leave me a comment and tell me why. Okay, usually I have somebody do a rebuttal to some of my statements, just because I like to hear, what some of the objections might be to things that I've said. Because there's always an objection. A long time ago, one of my mentors said, they're called the yabbits. Yeah, but. And he called it yabbits. And he said yabbits are things that are going to make you stumble. Because there's always some reason why you won't try something. And it's called a yabbit. And my God, there are so many people that won't try the simplest free thing that they can do in a brief amount of time because they have got yabbit. The yabbit disease. So if you're one of these people that have just got lots and lots of, yeah, but it sounds stupid, it sounds, and people are going to laugh at me or I'm going to laugh at myself, I'm just not going to do it. I don't care what you say, I'm never going to do anything you suggest. Why? Just because I have no reason, I just don't like you. I don't like what you say. It's a yabbit. The world is full of people who have got this kind of mentality. And usually they've got enormous egos. They've got time to listen to idiots like Howard Stern for hours and hours every day. But they have got no time to try something new. What do you get from Howard Stern? Oh, sometimes he makes me giggle. Most of the time I just sit there and listen to the other people around Howard Stern laugh. And I think I'm getting some good value for my time on my Sirius satellite radio or something. You can never get good information from jackasses, nationally syndicated idiots who are always Mr. Negative when it comes to anyone who has got something more than what? What has Howard Stern got? He's got nothing. He's got nothing, no information. It's constantly just poking fun at people who he stumbles across. I don't like Howard Stern. I think Howard Stern should be taken off the radio because there's too many Howard Sterns. Too many people who are just making a lot of money by keeping you down, keeping you from discovering new truths. And then Howard Stern's attitude wears off on you. Sorry, Howard. But there's all kinds of people who watch the nightly news. They've got the news on all the time, and they'll follow the all-day news channel. I know people that are really sick in hospital, and they can't take their eyes off of the news channel. All kinds of horrible news. Horrible, horrible news. What's the latest tragedy, the latest plane crash, the latest mass murder? That's all they get all day. Why did they stay sick? Because their mind is being poisoned. There's nothing uplifting in this. It's nothing but a downer. And they listen to it 24/7. For years and years and years. How are they going to break this habit? It's a habit. Habits can be broken. How are we ever going to help 8 billion humans on this planet if they won't do the simplest thing for themselves? You got me? Anyway, this is my gift to you. If you will, please share my videos, even if you think they're odd, because it is something fresh and something new. And God knows we need fresh and new. Thank you. The money that you are wasting on gambling might be better used supporting children in your own hometown. You're just donating it to the casinos, and everyone knows they're fabulously rich. When are you going to make a stand for your own community? If you got that much money to waste, why not give it to a needy cause? That's all I have for you. I'm Bob Frizzell, hoping that you're going to think before you act. And one more thing, just like Columbo, one more thing. How are you going to get involved with community building? In other words, do you know the people in your neighborhood? Neighborhood watch. The point of the matter is, if you're spending all your time doing video games, television, Netflix, and Las Vegas, you're not going to get to know who your neighbors are. So you're missing out on human contact. Older people, especially senior citizens, have a very difficult time meeting new people. What they do is they hang out with other old people until the other old person dies, and they find another old person. And they keep going through their list of old people that they've known forever because they're old. This is a huge problem. Because why? Because those old people are full of life stories and wisdom, and it's not getting passed on to younger generations. Younger generations are on YouTube watching other young people talk about video games, dumb things that they've done, sports. So, why is this different from the olden days It's probably not that much different. As long as we've had television, it has been an addiction. Everyone knows about drugs as addiction, but media is an addiction. And here I am using media to try and reach you. That's all I got. One more thing. That's it.